Hi there. I'm just going to take a minute here before I get started and see if I can get it up on my iPad. And make sure I can see comments. I'm just going to take a minute here before I get... Hi, Pamela. Glad to see you. Will you just say hi so that I can see if my comments are working? Pamela, would you mind just typing in hi so I can see if my comments are working? I don't see anything. Oh, there it is. Okay, well, it looks like we've already got a few people watching, and we're a few minutes early. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to show you, first of all, let me just say I'm Deborah with Deborah Bucher Designs, and I'm a few minutes early, but we'll go ahead and get started. Earlier today, my neighborhood had an ornament gift exchange. And so I picked up some extra ornaments and to give out to a few friends. And I thought this morning, oh, I should use my new stamp and stamp my gift bags. So that's what I did. And I had a really cute one stamped today. And then my FIFO bottle kind of exploded on me, and I had a big mess. So then I had to start all over again, which was okay, because on the back side of this, I'm going to show you how to do the other side. So I want to show you, I'm going to push the camera down. Okay, so it comes like this, and the design actually looks like this. It's a really pretty design. And so there's one section here, and these are all individual sections. So as I take this apart, you'll see that. Let's see. Just turning the camera around a little bit. Whew. And just knocking it over. Okay. So it comes with this. This is how it's packaged. You take this top layer off and save it. And then this is the one that I used. This is the one that I used earlier today, and they're called clear cling-on stamps. And they're completely flexible, which is really awesome. I've never used these kind of stamps before, so I was really excited to give it a try. And so then there's another section here, and then that middle section comes off. So just think of the possibilities of how you can use these. These would really be great to use on the sides of drawers and furniture. You know, sometimes we paint them, sometimes we decoupage them, sometimes we just leave them plain. But these stencils would be really cool on just the sides of the drawers too. And they would wear. Then you aren't adding any extra thickness to the side of the drawer. So I'm going to put the flat side down, and then it also comes well, the paint roller comes with 3 additional rollers, so you have 4 total, and the roller, and an acrylic sheet to put your paint out on, which is pretty awesome. And I like to do this, I just have one of these like Mylar cutting boards that you use in the kitchen, but I have them for classes and for different projects. Just protects everything. And I'm using drop cloth for this project, but you could obviously use any color that you want, but I thought the drop cloth looked really pretty against the craft bags. So it was open earlier. It's amazing how fast these things can tighten up. And like I said, I'd never done this before this morning, so it was kind of like learning trial by error, but I think it went pretty well. And I'm just going to put some paint on this acrylic board. It doesn't take much, and for every bag that you do, you reapply. And I'm also going to put some on the roller. And then I'm going to just butter up my roller, make sure, you know, you can see whether you've got a coverage all the way around or if you've got empty spots on it. So that looks good. And then with no pressure, oops, yeah, I'm on the right side. With no pressure at all, you just start laying this paint down on here. I was just looking at the comments and I can see people watching. Hi Deanna, thank you for watching, and Cindy Smith, thank you so much. If you guys are writing comments, I can't see them on my iPad. I tested it before we went live and it looked like they were going to work. I don't know what the problem is, honestly. I should be able to see them, but I can't. So if you have questions, I'll go back after the video and answer your questions. And another thing that I learned today, which I've already forgotten to do, is I had measured this out on my bag, and then I only buttered up the section that I needed to put on the bag. And on this piece, I forgot to do that over here on this side. I did the whole thing, and I don't really need the whole thing. So after you've buttered it up like this, then you just position it on the bag and lay it down, and then just press it in. And I did find that I had to put a little more pressure on the first time I used it than I did on the successive times, just because I think as I buttered it up each time, there was more paint left on it. And so it actually was easier. And there is a tool that Prima sells, and I didn't know if it was necessary or not, but I think it might come in handy. It's one of those, and maybe you've seen it before, it's a stamp press. And I'm thinking I might order one of those, because then you would just take that stamp press and push down on the whole thing. And you can lift it up and see if you've missed any areas or if you need to put it on. And frankly, it doesn't have to be all even, because particularly with this stamp, that's kind of gives it more of a vintage distressed look if it's not quite all even. But you can always lay it back down and then pick it back up and just lift it off like that. Voila, you have this beautifully stamped gift bag. The bags were beautiful today. I was so pleased with them, I really was. And so I'm going to set that one aside, and I'm going to butter it up again. You can see how fast and easy this is. So let me move that up here, put this here so you can see what I'm doing. I sure wish I could see your comments. I got these bags. Now, if you've shopped with me, you know I always have craft bags for your paint. And, but when I was at Michael's yesterday, and I was thinking I was gonna do this, the craft bags I have came from a new supplier, and they're kind of wrinkly, and I thought, well, they're not gonna work great for this. I need bags that are in better condition. So I picked up some more, and I'm just gonna keep some of these on hand for doing this. Because when I'm done with demonstrating this, I'll show you some of the other stamps. But you can use this with Dixie Belle paint. You can use it with any kind of permanent inks. You can do this on fabric. You can do it on metal. You can do it on signs. You could like decoupage and then put stenciling over the top of your decoupage. It can go on glass. There isn't any surface that you can't put this on. And so if you already have a nice array and supply of Dixie Belle paint, this is a really awesome thing to be able to add to your projects. Okay, so on this craft bag, this is the one that got messed up on this side, but I just wanted to demonstrate how I did the opposite side of it so that the bag is stamped on both sides. So I just turned it over and then just try to smooth out that fold as best as possible, and then just set it down. And position the stamp. And this is a really easy stamp to position. Just lay it down and just start pressing it in. And I bet you'll be able to see on this second coat of paint that went on here that this will put down a little bit darker transfer of paint. These things are addicting. And I've wanted to do some tea towels and put in my booth. And I don't know if I'm going to do them. I'm going to experiment around. I don't know if I'm going to use permanent ink to do them or the paint. Now the paint on fabric is as permanent as it gets. If you paint regularly, you know that it does not wash out of your clothes. Yeah, that put down a little bit heavier the second time around than it did the first time. So let me turn that around so that everybody can see that. So isn't that cool? I am just so thrilled with these and so addicted to them. And they were so pretty today. Let me see. And you can see, let me do side by side here. You can see that the second application went down a little bit heavier than the first application did. Just slightly. So let me see if this is dry enough. I believe it is. So I'm going to just go ahead and finish up stamping this side, and then I'll show you some of the other really cool stamps. There's another one that I want to open up and try, and I might as well while you guys are watching. So, has everybody finished their Christmas shopping? I have. I got all of it done for Black Friday. Took advantage of those sales. My list gets shorter and shorter every year. My kids are grown, and I typically buy for the grandkids, and that's just about it these days. Okay, I'm just buttering this up. Let me get back over here in the camera for you. Hi, Melissa. So you guys, I always mention this. On these videos, Facebook has redone their algorithms, and the only way my channel and my page grows is if you guys help me out. So if you don't mind just sprinkling this around with your friends that you think might be interested, I would really, really, really appreciate that. And, you know, by commenting and liking the page, that also really helps me out. And I really appreciate it. Okay, so this one's buttered up and ready to go again. Can you guys see how fun and easy this is and what an amazing transformation it makes? Just set it down. And the fact that it's flexible like this, like, you know, if you were trying to decorate a mason jar with it, this would just bend around smoothly. Or you could lay your jar down and roll this onto it. I'd have to play around with it to see what the best way, but it's neat that it's flexible. This might be one of my new favorite things. I might just be stamping everything. If you stand still too long, you might be in danger of getting stamped. If you're just joining us, say hello. Okay, off it comes. Love, love, love. So pretty. So now it's stamped on this side, and we stamped it at the beginning of this show on this side. Now you can really see it transferred more paint this third time around than it did the very first. But it's such a distressed look to it, that design, that no one's ever going to notice. Just us. Oh, so pretty. Just knocked you guys over, did you notice? Okay, so I want to show you some of the other stamp designs. Now to clean that, I just put it in the sink and I used the scrubby soap to clean it all off, and then I laid it over on my towel mat and let it dry and then put it away. Super easy. And that little acrylic tray that comes with the rollers, that's pretty awesome too. So let me get this out of the way. I should have had some of these open. Okay, so this one's called Handwritten Note. And so you've got, it's all the handwriting, and that's always really fun to put on top of decoupage or on paint, or if you just have a section. And this all comes apart in those sections also. So that's pretty cool. Then this one I'm excited to use. This one is called Icy Paris. And it's similar to some of the transfers that they put out earlier this year, and that was one of my favorite transfers. And I really liked putting it on the paper mache pots or the galvanized steel pots. But the really cool thing about this is I get an infinite number of uses out of this, where a transfer you've got limited uses. So that's really cool. And of course it has things on here that I really love. My favorite is this Bees and Queens right here is really cool. And I love this cafe, but they're, you know, they're all really, really cool. And I don't know if you can see that really well, but these all lift off of here individually. And this bee comes off individually, so that's really cool that you can put that on a piece of furniture. Up here, above the bee, is a crown that comes off individually. So I definitely will be using this stamp a lot. This is really cool. Okay. So I'm a bird person. I don't know what it is about me and birds, but I've always loved birds. And a couple of the transfers that Prima came out with had birds on them, and they are my favorites. There was a Parisian butterflies that had birds and butterflies and branches on it. That was a really favorite one, and I've used it a lot. And then they just came out with one that I can't remember the name, that was in the last release, that had birds and branches, and that's a beautiful one. And of course, when they came out with the stencil, because you get infinite uses of it and it's so versatile, I just had to have it. And not only do you have these birds, but you know, there's like blossoms in these branches, and you can make all kinds of different configurations with that, and then set your birds on the branches. So, you know, you've got your branches, and then all your birds come off separately, so you can, you know, set it up any way you want. They have a picture of it here, which is okay. I think that's too much on that piece, but this is a piece I'm really anxious to play around with. And you know, playing around with these bags is a inexpensive way to get used to them. Okay, so I know this one's going to be super popular, and this is the numbers. They call it stripes, which is hilarious to me because I call it the numbers. But the stripes on here are really pretty, and they look very much like a tea towel stripe, so that's pretty cool if you wanted to do tea towels. And those stripes come off individually also. And they show the stripes being used on the front of a dresser. And you know what? If you were painting a chair, the fabric on a chair, wouldn't that be an awesome stripe to have going down on a chair? I think that would be really cool. And all the numbers come off individually, so then you can make up whatever number combinations you want with them. So that's pretty awesome. And then, of course, we needed the alphabet. And let me turn it over here so that you can see. Is that the right side? I know that the picture is backwards on here, but you know how the alphabet looks. So it's uppercase as well as lowercase. I don't know if I can get all of it in there in the camera or not. And then it has the explanation, the ampersand, and comma and colons and periods and semicolon. So it has everything that you need to make a sentence or a statement. They've printed it on the front of a piece of pottery here that just simply says love. And each letter comes off individually so that you can write out and spell out whatever you want to spell out. And the last one that I have, going along with the birds, this one's called Monarch Collection, but it doesn't just have butterflies on it. It has beetles on it, dragonflies, more bumblebees, dragonflies, lots of butterflies, ladybugs, another dragonfly. It's just really a cool piece. And they all lift off individually, and they're all really a decent size. I mean, there's a variety of sizes on here, but you know, they're showing it stamped on here onto pottery. And I watched a video from one of the ambassadors for Prima, and she was doing it on plates, and she had like an enamel picture that she did a stamp on. So it's really, really fun and so versatile, and you really get a lot of bang for your buck because this is going to last you for the rest of your life. So these stamps, I think, are something that you need to add to your toolbox. So that's all I have for you. Let me bring up the camera and see if I can read your questions. Okay, so Melissa, I see you didn't know there was an alphabet. Well, darling, there is. Hi, Courtney. Thanks for tuning in. We're just about ready to finish up here, but you can go back and watch from the beginning and let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to scroll down and see if I can answer anybody else's questions while I'm on here. Okay, Deanna, you said that design is very pretty, reminds you of vintage wallpaper. Yeah, it is a really pretty design. Hi, Mary. Thanks for joining in. Oh, you visited the booth today. Cool. Hope you found everything you needed. Yeah, I agree. The tea towels would be really cute. And I've wanted to do tea towels for a long, long time. And, you know, you always see little kids' t-shirts done, like the little onesies done with really cute designs. So I think it would be fun to play around with these on some of those kind of projects. Melissa, you said you're done. What does that mean? Oh, you're done with your Christmas shopping. That's what that means. Gotcha. Well, if you're almost done, Melissa, then that gives you just a little bit more extra money, right? To get some of these stamps. I know that you're just dying for some. Deanna, that's really cool that you're making yours. I mean, I've had years when my kids were growing up and I didn't have a big budget to spend on Christmas, that most of their gifts were handmade. And I was feeling that today when I was putting these bags together, and they just came out pretty by the time I had floral embellishments on them and the tissue paper in them and stuff. And then I went around the neighborhood and left them at people's doors and just rang their doorbell and left them. And it was just really it was just really fun. There is something so rewarding in just hand making your gifts and giving them out. And it just took me back to the good old days when that's what I used to do. Thanks, Sandra. It really is cool. You should give it a try. Melissa, did your package come yet? I act like I can talk to you guys. Yeah, you could go back and color them in after you've stamped them. Yeah, it would be like coloring book pages. It would be really pretty. Or if you're really good and paint really fast, you could paint, you know, different colors, different sections. Like the flowers on there could be one color, the ribbon going through it could be another color. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Anne. Well, hello, Trent. Good old friend. Haven't seen or talked to you in a really long time. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Oh, it's too girly for you. Okay. Melissa, you made really cute t-shirts with the IOD butterflies and a heart shape. Did you just do that recently? Put some pictures on my page so we can see what you did. Oh, and it got there yesterday. Okay, well, does anybody else have any questions? I'd love to answer your questions for you. If you have some stamping projects that you've done and you want to share it with everybody, just post them on here. And like I said, I appreciate getting any hearts and comments. And if you would sprinkle this around to any of your friends that you think might enjoy watching it, I'd appreciate that too. That helps me. You have no idea how much that helps me. And if I don't talk to all of you again before Christmas, then I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Stay safe and healthy. And let's all hope that next year is a better year. All right. Good night, everybody.